Okay, let's dive into this, because today is August 14, 2026, and we've got some absolutely massive, breaking developments to cover in the AI space. We're not just talking about these models getting smarter anymore. We're talking about them operating at such a blistering speed that the AI is practically formulating the answer before you've even finished thinking of your prompt. It's wild, so let's unpack today's source material and see exactly how the ground is shifting right beneath our feet. 750. As of today, AI can now comfortably pump out 750 words every single second. Just let that number sink in for a moment. At 750 words a second, an AI is drafting an entire college thesis in the literal time it takes you to clear your throat. By the time you blink, a system running at this velocity has already analyzed a dense legal contract or rewritten thousands of lines of code from scratch. It is an entirely new paradigm of what machines can do. To really ground this and map it against our own human biology, in the exact amount of time it takes you, or me, to read just one average sentence on a page, the AI has already generated 50 times that amount of text. 50 times! It is 50 times faster at creating information than we are at simply absorbing it. And this creates this incredible bottleneck, right? Not on the machine's end, but on ours. The information is basically flowing out like a fire hose, and we're just standing there trying to catch a few drops in a paper cup.
Section 1. The Ultrafast API tier, and accelerating GPT-5.6.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what OpenAI's brand new dedicated fast lane for their GPT-5.6 Sol model actually looks like in practice. Look at this, a complex processing task that took 14 seconds yesterday, which, let's be honest, already felt like magic to most of us, now takes exactly 1 second today. You hit enter and boom, it's instantaneous. We are literally looking at a 14x multiplier over standard AI processing times.
Now, software obviously can't pull this off all on its own. The engine behind this unbelievable speed requires a serious physical shift. This new tier relies heavily on totally bespoke hardware from Cerebras, and that poses a massive direct challenge to the traditional NVIDIA GPUs that have completely dominated the AI landscape for the last few years. By moving to this specific hardware architecture, they're physically able to push out those 750 output tokens every single second. It is a really fascinating shift in the AI supply chain.
But before you go rushing to your keyboard to try it out, I do need to clarify that this ultra-fast tier is currently locked in a limited API preview, so it's restricted to a very select group of enterprise API customers and hasn't been rolled out to the general public just yet. OpenAI is basically stress testing this massive infrastructure at scale with specific partners before they open the floodgates to everyone else.
So, you might be wondering, why does this matter? Why build a lane this fast? Well, because in the real world, zero latency speeds are an absolute game changer for a few specific industries. Imagine financial trading bots reacting to a sudden press release and executing a trade before human brokers have even finished reading the headline. Or think about live customer support voice agents with literally zero awkward pauses before they reply to you over the phone. And, maybe most importantly, autonomous robots navigating physical spaces, making real-time split-second safety decisions instantly. For these fields, this kind of speed isn't just a luxury, it's a structural requirement.
Now, what's really interesting about this next part is Section 2, the bizarre price war and a highly contradictory market.
So, we are currently seeing this completely bizarre market split unfolding that defies traditional economic logic. On one side of the globe, Western AI giants like OpenAI and Anthropic are aggressively slashing their prices. They are racing to the bottom to make their intelligence cheaper and more accessible so they can gobble up market share. But on the exact opposite side, you have China's DeepSeek moving in the completely opposite direction. It is a totally fractured global approach to how we value artificial intelligence.
Just look at the sheer scale of this. DeepSeek hasn't just tweaked their prices slightly, they've executed a staggering 1,000% price jump for their new premium tier. This is a company that originally built its entire reputation on offering really highly capable, budget-friendly AI. And then, practically overnight, they've transformed their model into an ultra-premium priced service. It's an unbelievable pivot that has left industry analysts completely shocked.
The driving philosophy behind all this chaos is actually pretty simple. To quote the source material directly, the match is no longer about who is smarter, it's about who can deliver faster and cheaper. For the longest time, the AI race was this purely academic pursuit of intelligence. Who has the highest benchmark scores, who can solve the toughest logic puzzles. But right now, the new battleground is raw speed and cost efficiency. Intelligence itself is becoming a commodity. Speed is the new premium. It's all about utility, scale, and deployment.
The trillion-dollar picture,
and big tech's massive gamble.
When the fundamental metrics of an entire industry shift from smart to fast and cheap, the infrastructure required to support that is absolutely monumental. The absolute titans of the industry, we're talking Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta, are pooling just astronomical amounts of capital right now. They're buying up every available advanced chip, building these sprawling new data centers at a breakneck pace, and locking down raw energy contracts just to ensure they literally have the electricity to power this new era of ultra-fast compute.
And the exact figure committed to this endeavor? $1.5 trillion. Yeah, trillion with a T. I really want to pause here just to let that unfathomable number sink in. $1.5 trillion committed strictly to AI infrastructure. This isn't some software development budget we're talking about. This is concrete, cooling systems, silicon, and miles of copper wire. This is the physical foundation being laid right now for the future of ultra-fast intelligence.
To put $1.5 trillion into perspective, that is a financial commitment larger than the entire GDP of countries like Spain or Australia. No way around it. This is no longer just a tech update or a fun new product launch. When numbers get this big, we are talking about a fundamental global economic restructuring. The entire physical world is literally being reshaped to facilitate these massive new digital brains.
Which leaves us with this final lingering thought. When artificial intelligence is suddenly operating 50 times faster than you can read, when it's driven by a $1.5 trillion physical infrastructure, and when the global race is relentlessly pushing for faster and cheaper output, what is the very first human task that is going to completely disappear from our daily lives? Really think about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.